The strength of stillness. Buddhist wisdom for modern stress. Long ago, a young monk asked his teacher, "Master, why is it that I suffer so much? Why is my heart always restless, my mind always burning with worries?" The teacher smiled, held out his hand, and slowly clenched it into a fist. "Tell me," he said, "if I walk through life like this, what happens?" The monk looked puzzled. "Your hand will grow tired, master. It will ache." "Exactly," said the teacher. "Now watch." And he opened his palm wide, soft and free. "This," he said, "is the way of the Dharma. The open hand does not grow weary. It holds nothing, and so it is ready to receive everything." My friends, we are often like that clenched fist. We hold on tightly to fear, to plans, to control. We grip the outcomes of life as if our strength alone could bend the universe to our will. But the more tightly we hold, the more tired we become, the more we suffer. The Buddha himself saw this truth under the Bodhi tree. He saw that clinging is the root of suffering. Desire that grips, fear that resists, ego that refuses to let go. These bind us like chains. But the open hand, the open heart, is freedom. Think of the times you were desperate for something: love, success, money, approval. Did your grasping bring it closer, or did it only push it further away? Now think of the times you relaxed, trusted, and walked with faith. Often in those moments, life unfolded with unexpected grace. This is the lesson of the open palm. When we let go, we do not lose. We make space. We make space for wisdom to guide us, for compassion to flow through us, for miracles to arrive at the right time. So I ask you now, gently, what are you holding so tightly? What weighs down your heart like a stone? Can you just for this moment, open your hand, open your heart, and let it rest? For in that resting, in that release, lies the first taste of freedom. And in that freedom, my friends, we begin to truly live. Section 1. Vibration, not desperation. My friends, let me ask you this. Have you ever walked into a room where no one spoke a word, yet you felt the heaviness, the tension, as if the air itself carried the weight of unspoken worry? And have you also walked into another space, perhaps a temple, perhaps a friend's humble home, where laughter and peace floated in the air? And suddenly, without explanation, you felt lighter. That is vibration, not the kind you measure with machines, but the subtle current of the heart, the frequency of the mind. The Buddha taught that mind precedes all things. With our thoughts we make the world. This means that what you carry inside does not stay inside. It radiates outward, shaping your relationships, your choices, even the opportunities that come your way. When we live in desperation, clinging, rushing, begging life to bend to our will, our vibration is heavy. It pushes away what we long for, like trying to grasp water with a fist. But when we live in trust, calm, steady, aligned with compassion, our vibration becomes gentle, inviting. Like an open palm catching the rain, it naturally receives. Think of a flower. It does not chase the bees shouting, "Come pollinate me." No, it simply blooms, radiant and fragrant. Its vibration calls, and the bees arrive. This is not magic, it is harmony. So too with us. When we bloom in peace, what we need begins to flow toward us. But here is the challenge. We are taught to chase, to prove, to grasp. We measure ourselves against others. We run after approval. We tighten with fear that we are not enough. And in that desperation, our vibration weakens. So I say to you, pause, breathe, smile, even if softly. Let your heart whisper, "I am already enough." When you stand in that still confidence, your vibration rises like incense smoke in a quiet hall. You attract not through force, but through presence. Faith is not just believing in a distant future. Faith is the vibration you hold now, in this very breath. And when faith becomes your frequency, Desperation has no place to dwell. Tell me, my friends, what vibration do you carry today? And if it is heavy, can you lighten it? Not by adding, but by releasing. For the lighter your heart, the closer you come to freedom. Section 2. When control blocks the path. My dear friends, have you ever noticed how much energy we spend trying to control life? We plan, we arrange, we prepare for every possibility. We think, if I hold on tightly enough, nothing can go wrong. And yet, despite all our effort, life has a way of surprising us. Sometimes with joy, sometimes with sorrow, but always beyond our full control. The Buddha taught about impermanence, that everything is in motion, changing moment by moment. To resist this truth is like trying to command the waves of the ocean to stand still. No matter how strong your voice, the waves will continue to rise and fall. When we try to control every outcome, we create resistance. It's like holding your breath, hoping the world will pause with you. But the world does not pause, and eventually, you must exhale, often with exhaustion and disappointment. Consider this: when you walk a path, do you control every stone, every bird, every gust of wind? No, you control only your steps, your balance, your attention. The rest belongs to the vastness of life. So why do we burden ourselves with what was never ours to command? Control is rooted in fear. Fear that if we do not push, we will be left behind. Fear that if we do not grip, life will slip away. But what if it is the gripping itself that blocks the flow? What if the very act of clenching is what prevents the blessing from entering your hand? Think of water in a stream. Place your hand wide and open, and the water flows gently through, cool and refreshing. Close your fist around it, and you lose it instantly. So it is with control. This does not mean we sit idle, doing nothing. The Buddha spoke of right effort, of walking the path with sincerity and discipline. But right effort is not desperate effort. It is not born of control. It is born of harmony. We walk, we act, we speak with wisdom, and then we let life breathe around us. Sometimes, letting go of control is not weakness but strength. It is saying, I trust the path, I trust the Dharma, I trust that what unfolds is not against me, but guiding me. When you release control, you do not lose direction. You gain clarity, you gain freedom. So ask yourself now, where are you clenching? Where are you trying to force life to bend? And can you just for today, loosen your grip and walk with a softer step? For in that softness, the path reveals itself, and in that trust, the journey becomes lighter, brighter, and full of unseen blessings. Section 3. The Strength of Silence. My friends, let us pause for a moment together. Listen, not to me, but to what is around you. Perhaps the hum of the fan, the chirping of a bird, or even the quiet rhythm of your own breath. In that listening, do you notice something deeper? Silence. Always there, always holding everything. In our world, silence is often feared. People rush to fill it with words, with noise, with distraction. We turn on the television, scroll endlessly, talk without truly saying anything. Why? Because silence feels unfamiliar. It feels like emptiness. But the Buddha showed us that what we call emptiness is not void. It is fullness. It is the spaciousness where wisdom can arise. When the mind is loud, it is like a muddy river. Every thought stirs the water, making it cloudy. But when the mind grows still, when silence is allowed, the mud sinks, and the water becomes clear. Only then can you see the reflection of the moon. Silence is strength, not weakness. It is not about running away from the world, but about meeting it with clarity. The monk who sits quietly under a tree is not doing nothing. He is listening deeply, listening to his breath, listening to the impermanence of all things, listening to the Dharma that whispers beneath the surface of life. And silence has another power. It protects. In the midst of arguments, silence can prevent words that wound. In the storm of confusion, silence can steady the heart. In the rush of desire, silence can remind us of what truly matters. Do not think silence belongs only in temples or meditation halls. You can find it in the simple act of closing your eyes for one mindful breath. You can touch it in the pause before you speak. You can carry it with you, even in the busiest marketplace. So I invite you, make friends with silence. Do not run from it. Sit with it. Let it become your teacher. For in silence the heart opens. In silence fear softens. In silence we hear not just the world, but the truth that has always been within us. And perhaps in that quiet strength, you will find that you no longer need to chase so many things. Peace itself will begin to walk beside you. Section 4. Trust the timing. My friends, let us reflect on the nature of time. A seed does not bloom the day it is planted. The farmer waters, the sun shines, the earth cradles the seed, and in its own season, the flower unfolds. No amount of shouting at the soil will make the petals open sooner. Yet how often do we shout at life? We say, "Why not now? Why is it taking so long? Why is my path slower than another's?" In these questions hides the seed of suffering, impatience. We confuse delay with denial, forgetting that the universe ripens things with perfect rhythm. The Buddha taught about cause and condition. Every fruit ripens only when the right causes come together. Even if you are ready, the world may not yet be aligned. Even if the opportunity is near, perhaps your heart still needs more preparing. Trusting the timing means trusting that all things ripen when they are meant to. Think of the river. It does not rush impatiently to the sea. It flows at its own pace, winding through rocks, carving valleys, nourishing lands, and when the time comes, it meets the ocean effortlessly. So too with our lives. When we force, we stumble. When we trust, we flow. This is not an excuse to be lazy. The farmer still tills the soil. The monk still practices discipline. The traveler still takes each step. But they do not demand the harvest before its season. They trust that each effort, each breath is part of the unfolding. Sometimes what feels like a delay is protection. The door that did not open may have spared you suffering. The road that seemed too long may have been preparing your strength. And sometimes what feels like too late is in fact exactly on time. So I say to you, release the urgency that burns in your chest. Walk steadily, breathe deeply, and let time be your companion, not your enemy. For when the fruit ripens, you will not have to force it. It will fall gently into your hands, sweet and ready. Trust the timing, my friends. Trust the rhythm of the Dharma. For life, like a wise teacher, always knows when the lesson is ready to be revealed. Section 5. Worthiness and Calmness. My dear friends, let us speak of something many hearts quietly struggle with, the feeling of not being enough. So often we measure our worth by what we achieve, by what we own, or by how others see us. And when life does not match our expectations, we whisper to ourselves, maybe I am not worthy. But hear this truth clearly. Your worth is not something you earn. It is something you already carry, like the light of a lamp that was lit the moment you were born. The Buddha never said, you must prove your value. He said, you must see your true nature. And your true nature, like the sky, is vast, unbroken, limitless. When we forget this, we live in restlessness. We rush, we chase, we compare, always trying to patch a hole that was never really there. And in this chasing, we lose calmness. Our spirit trembles like a candle in the wind. But calmness comes when we rest in worthiness. When we know, deep in our being, I am enough in this breath, in this step, in this moment. This is not arrogance, it is peace. It is the quiet dignity of a mountain that does not need to move to prove its strength. Think of the lotus flower. It rises from the mud, untouched by the dirt that surrounds it. It does not say, I must become like the rose to be worthy. It simply blooms as it is, serene and complete. So too with you. Your worth is not diminished by your mistakes, not erased by your struggles, not defined by comparison. And here is the beauty: when you live from worthiness, calmness naturally follows. Your words soften, your actions steady, your presence becomes like cool shade on a hot day. People feel safe near you, not because you try to impress them, but because you are at peace with yourself. Calmness is not passivity, it is strength held gently. It is the confidence that you do not need to grasp or prove, because nothing can take away the light that already shines within you. So today, whisper to yourself, I am worthy, I am enough, I can rest in this truth, and let that truth settle in your bones, steadying your breath, softening your heart. For a calm and worthy spirit is like a still pond. It reflects the sky clearly and invites all who pass by to rest beside it. Section 6. Letting go to make space for miracles. My friends, think again of the story we began with, the clenched fist and the open palm. To let go is not to lose. To let go is to make space. Space for breath, space for peace, space for the unseen blessings that life longs to give us. So often, our suffering comes not from what is happening, but from what we refuse to release. We hold on to old wounds, replaying them like a broken song. We grip to plans, demanding life to follow our script. We cling to people, to things, to titles, as if without them we would vanish. But every time we hold too tightly, we crowd out the very miracles waiting to enter. The Buddha taught that everything is impermanent, arising, passing, flowing like clouds across the sky. To resist this truth is to live in struggle. To embrace it is to live in freedom. Letting go does not mean carelessness. It does not mean giving up. It means loosening the grip of fear and trusting the natural rhythm of the Dharma. It means opening your hand so life can place something new within it. Think of a traveler carrying a heavy bag. At first, the bag feels important. Inside are clothes, food, tools. But as the journey grows longer, the weight becomes painful. Only when the traveler sets it down does he discover he can walk farther, lighter, freer. And in his empty hands, he now has room to receive what the road offers. Fruit from a tree, water from a stream, kindness from a stranger. So it is with us. When we release what no longer serves us, we discover what was meant for us all along. Sometimes the miracle waiting is joy. Sometimes it is healing. Sometimes it is simply the soft peace of no longer carrying so much. Letting go can be practiced in small ways. A deep breath that releases tension. A moment of gratitude that loosens the grip of complaint. An act of compassion that frees the heart from bitterness. Each release is an opening, and each opening invites something new. My dear friends, the open hand is not empty. It is ready. Ready for love, ready for wisdom, ready for the quiet miracles that slip in when we stop grasping. Do not fear letting go. Fear instead the life that grows too crowded to welcome grace. So I leave you with this gentle question. What is one thing you can set down today? One burden, one thought, one fear. Place it gently on the ground and watch how light your steps become. For it is only with empty hands that we can fully receive the gift of this moment. Conclusion. My dear friends, we have walked together through the open palm, through the strength of vibration, through the futility of control, through the peace of silence, through the wisdom of timing, through the dignity of worthiness, and through the freedom of letting go. Each step has been a mirror, reflecting not some distant truth, but the truth that already lives within your heart. The Buddha did not give us a doctrine to memorize. He gave us a way to live, a way of loosening the fist of fear and opening the hand of faith, a way of trusting the river of impermanence rather than fighting against its current, a way of finding strength, not in noise or struggle, but in silence, in calm, in compassion. Remember this, you are not empty, you are not lacking, you are not behind. Like the lotus rising from the mud, your worth has always been here. Your calmness has always been within reach. Your freedom is not far away. It is one breath, one release, one moment of faith away. And so I invite you, not just to listen to these words, but to live them. When you catch yourself grasping, pause and open your hand. When your heart trembles with desperation, remember your vibration and let it soften into trust. When you try to control what is beyond you, breathe and return to what you can hold, your step, your word, your intention. When the world grows loud, retreat for a moment into silence and let clarity return. When impatience burns, trust that the fruit ripens in its season. When doubt whispers, remind yourself, I am enough, I am worthy. And when life feels too heavy, set something down and make space for grace. The path is not far, it is here, in this moment, in your willingness to live with open hands and open heart. Do not wait for tomorrow or for perfect conditions. Begin now, breathe, smile softly, trust, for the miracle of life is not waiting to arrive. It is already here, within you, around you, and before you. May you walk lightly, may you rest deeply, may you live with faith, with compassion, with freedom, and may the open palm of your heart always be ready to receive the boundless gift of the present moment.